Hi everyone, welcome to T.D.Jakes, and I am Tootie. So today I want to discuss the T.D.Jakes post, the video clip that's been going around the internet, and it was summing up saying that women are raised to be men, that they are aggressive, and you go into the, he said something along the lines, you go into the your offices, and then you come home and stop throwing it in our face that you make more, or something along those lines, and that we are raising women to be men. And so that's all of the clip that I have seen. Now, mind you, the name of this ceremony, I went and looked it up. The name of this ceremony is called Men Pour In. That's the title. It's about an hour long. Everyone is only posting that little minute clip where it's talking about women. And I'm like, why they ain't posting, even the people who's agreeing with the clip is not posting and explaining exactly what he was talking about, because the ceremony was about men and men responsibility and what men are supposed to be doing as the man of your household, as the head of your household, as the Christian, as the Bible. And there's a lot of you alpha males believe out here. Which, me personally, I don't have no problems with alpha male. If you ask most women, besides alpha, I feel like alpha male and male's toxicity is two different things. But alpha male, women like when a man come in and take trouble. We don't want to have to do it all the time. We have to do it all the time. There's a difference. So, but the thing about this clip is that, like I said, the title of it is
raising up women to be men. And you are not applauded for your femininity. You are applauded in the contemporary society by how tough, rough, nasty, mean, aggressive, hateful, possessive you are, and you are climbing the corporate ladder, but we are losing our families. I know you can buy your own car. I know you can buy your own house. But until you create a need that I can pour into, I have no place in your life. So stop coming home bragging to me about how much you don't need me and wonder why I shy away.
Called Men Pour In. And it's about the man responsibility and what's required of him as the head of household, as the man of the house. And no one talks about what he said before.
See, men pour in. It's not about taking. Wherever there is love, love pours. Lust takes. A lot of people you think love you just lust you.
And what he say immediately after that clip, they clip it off right before he gets to the part that says, and men are like that because of men.
Let's prove to the men how dispensable they are. And it is born out of pain because we hurt you and betrayed you and lied to you and cheated to you, and you became like you became out of pain.
They are raised to be men because of men who have not been there, who have not been good fathers, who have cheated, who have lied, who have not taken care of your house. So they have no other choice but to be the men, because there are no men out here to lead. So they have to lead. Like, and he says it almost immediately afterwards. But then everybody clips it off right before I get to that part. And before that, he was saying that, like I said, the name of the whole sermon is Men Pour In. Men are designed to pour in. Even biologically, women are designed to receive. Men pour in. So men are supposed to be there and pour into his woman, into his family, and that's how he lead. That's how he direct into how everything are supposed to go. They head a house, you lead the way, we follow behind you. And I'm just like, I agree with the clip that women have and are raised because either they grew up without. Some fathers have chosen not to be in their life. Some fathers are, either some type of substance abuse, whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol, whether it's in the streets, whether it's gang banging, whether it's in jail. There has been a big decline of the men raising their children. So you have the women who are now growing up without fathers. And then when you do get into relationship, you run into men who also didn't grow up with men. So they don't know how to be men. So they're not men. So then that leaves the woman then now to have to become in charge of the household. If that man she's with and they have kids with that he's not involved. I was having a conversation. The other day with my husband, and I was saying like it just said the men ain't like the great majority of men aren't like the men that when I grew up. Like when I grew up, and I grew up in the 80s, 90s. So I said back then, and this was when I was young. So I was born in 82. So I said, but back then I remember the grown men, the men who had family, the men hanging out with other men. There was competition about like who grass was the best in the neighborhood, who has the greenest grass, who lawn is the best. You seen men working on cars in the yard. What? No, and to see a woman take her car to the auto shop or something, that was not seen. It was not for an oil change or nothing like that. If it was something that man couldn't do, he would take that car to the auto mechanic. He wasn't sending his woman to take the car to the auto mechanic. When a man came to the house, another man, the man in that house will talk and handle business with that man. Whether it was construction, roof, plumbing, it didn't matter. The men made those appointments because it was 9 times out of 10 another man that would be on the phone with another man that would be in his house. So him as head of the house always talked to and confronted that man. Nowadays you see that even when a man in the house, the woman is the one calling, making the appointments, taking cars to mechanics, setting it up and everything like that. And what haven't changed is that you want us to take on more responsibility as the woman, because before, man, a lot of women weren't working. You always talk about my grandma wasn't like these women nowadays. These women, yeah, because your grandma didn't work. Your grandma had about 10, 12 kids over there. And that's all she had to do was raise them kids. She wasn't out here working. These women's out here working, if not more hours, if not the same amount of hours, we're working more hours than the men in the house. So don't give us more of your responsibility if you're not taking more of our responsibility. Are you cooking? Are you cleaning? Are you helping out more with the kids? Since now I have to go work and bring in more income, which is supposed to be the man part, right? According to those old standards, right? You think we want to come in and talk about how much we'd have made at the baby? I'd like to be a stay-at-home mama. I think a lot of women would. But and I don't know about the rest of the world. In America, most of us need a 2 household income. So we both out here hustling, trying to get in, try to, provide for these kids. Now, do that mean that we make you feel less of a man? No. But there needs to be an equal balance where you're not expecting me to follow these old school traditional ways if I don't have the lifestyle, meaning a homemaker, a stay-at-home mom, just a wife, like the old school traditional women used to be. And the men would be the one out there working. I think for me, it was just weird that it was just like most of these women that I see that's making these commentaries or putting up the videos about, yeah, you women need to do this for your man. And if you ain't doing these things, then your man. And I'm looking to see, but I'm like, most of them don't even look like they got ring on your fingers. I ain't taking nobody for the single half over there. Like, sorry. I said, but then I'm looking at my videos and I'm like, because you can't, if I'm talking mostly with my right hand, and unless I put it up here in your face, you don't see my ring either. So I say it's possible that they could be married. But these videos that's going around about what the woman need to do and what the woman ain't doing and blah blah blah. Like we ain't gonna discuss what the men, because we got to start off with what's first, right? We got to start off with the head, right? We got to start off with the leader of the pack, right? The alpha, right? If he's the alpha, that means we the betas. And who comes and talk to the beta when you want something done? Nobody. You go and talk to the alpha. So once we get that in order, and let the like what they call it, trickle down economics, let it fall on down to the rest of the family, and you'll have the rest of your family in line, baby. But can we get y'all to get back to talking about what your granddaddy said? Can we get you to do some of the things your granddaddy used to do? Okay? Because granddaddy built a house from the ground up. And all we doing is coming out there and bringing you some tea, baby, some sweet tea, because we know Mississippi. We come out there and bring you some sweet tea. We come out there, we fill your belly. We take care of these kids. We up as your tool or whatever. But we ain't out there working and sweating and going through the grind and stuff like you do. That's how we was able to be so sweet and stuff when you came home. My only point is, don't talk about talking to me about the old school and the old tradition about what granddaddy said a woman should be or what your grandma used to do when you ain't half the man that your granddaddy was. But you want twice the woman that your grandma was. Make it make sense.
In this room, that somewhere, either by death, abandonment, drugs, whatever it was, the flow broke and left you thirsty. And I guarantee you, if it left you thirsty, man or woman, it also left you angry. Because I don't understand how I could have anything that looked so good and was so empty. So we look good to the community, we look good to everybody, but behind closed doors, you ain't pouring nothing into me. And gradually I become angry with you because you're not being able to pour into me leaves me desperate and thirsty. And then you hit me with commandments and tell me where not to drink, but you dry.
Make it make sense.